Apocalypse Now by Desutoria. Chapter 7. The three trainers touched down in the ghost town formerly known as Cerulean City. The city looked completely normal, except it was entirely empty. Every store was closed, the streets were deserted. There were no signs of life whatsoever. "Is it possible they escaped?" asked Xerxes. "As quickly as this thing got out of pewter, it'd be a miracle if they did," said Hideki. Suddenly, Harmony shushed the both of them. "Shh! Do you guys hear yelling?" she whispered. Hideki and Xerxes listened for a few seconds. Both silently indicated that they did not. "Let's just head off this way," Harmony said, pointing to the west. "I really think I heard something." As they traversed Route 4 towards Mount Moon, they noticed the ground was considerably wet. Odd, since Kanto hadn't had significant rain in several days, according to Hideki. Pokemon corpses, mostly Sandshrew, Spearow, and oddly enough Zubat, littered the area, all soaked as well. "Guys, be careful," Hideki said, pulling a Pokeball from his belt but not opening it. "These Zubat had to have come from Mount Moon. This virus is making Pokemon leave their normal habitats. Anything could come at us from anywhere." They had reached the end of the path and were closing in on the entrance to Mount Moon when they spotted a girl and her Starmie. She appeared to be staring into the mouth of the cave, one hand on her Pokemon for support, the other clutched around a metal baseball bat. She also appeared to be injured. So did her Starmie. "Misty?" Hideki said. The girl turned around. She looked at him for a few seconds before finally recognizing him. "Hideki?" she said weakly in return. "What happened here?" asked Xerxes. "They came out of the mountain," Misty explained. "They aren't normal Pokemon." "What about the people of Cerulean? Did they get away?" Harmony asked. "Yeah. I got a call from Brock about a zombie Pokemon in Pewter City. I managed to get everyone to evacuate just before they came out of the mountain." "Misty, you look hurt," Harmony noted. "Are you all right?" "Did any of them get past you?" Hideki interrupted in a hurried tone. "The zombie Pokemon. Did you let any of them into the city?" "I didn't let any of them anywhere," she replied angrily. "They just came out of nowhere. I didn't invite this." "That's not what I meant," Hideki said. "Did any of them get past you, or did you kill every one you saw?" "I had no choice but to kill them all. Each one came straight at me as soon as it saw me. But yeah, I saw the first ones come out of the cave, and I got each one." "That explains the lack of bodies in the town," Xerxes noted, "or any signs of struggle." "I did not let them touch my city," said Misty in a stern voice that carried a hint of pride. "They almost got there. They made it pretty far down Route 4, but I managed to push them back here. Me and Starmie, I mean." "Your Starmie looks like he's in bad shape," said Harmony, reaching into her bag. She pulled out a can of lemonade and handed it to Misty, who opened the can and poured it over the Pokemon's body. "What are you doing?" Harmony asked, confused. "Starmie don't drink," said Misty. "In fact, their mouths, if you will, are pretty basic. But they can still absorb nutrients if you pour it on them," interrupted Hideki. "Pretty impressive, Hideki," said Misty with a smirk. "You must have raised a Starmie too, right?" "That's right. It served me well against the Elite Four especially." "Do you have it with you?" Misty asked. "Yeah, why do you ask?" "Well, this is just a theory anyway, but I don't think Starmie are affected by the bug. This guy has been exposed to a whole swarm of them already. He's been bitten, scratched. He's taken damage, but he hasn't turned." "It makes sense, considering Starmie's natural ability to heal itself," said Xerxes. "Plus, like you said, Hideki, it barely even has a mouth. So I don't think it could hurt you even if it did turn," said Misty. "Good to know," Hideki replied. Ever since he caught Staryu in Vermilion City, it seemed like it did nothing but bail him out of tight spots. It looked like he was going to need to rely on his old friend yet again. "So guys, what now?" Xerxes asked. "Do we really stay here and guard the cave until we kill every infected Pokemon inside?" "Actually, I was hoping one of you had something that could seal off the cave entirely," said Misty. "That way I could at least know that Cerulean is safe." "I can take care of that," offered Hideki. "Go, Rochelle! Use Rock Slide to seal the cave entrance to Mount Moon." He released Rochelle from her ball, but to Hideki's confusion, she didn't use Rock Slide. In fact, she didn't do anything. Rochelle, he tried again. Use Rock Slide on the cave entrance. We're going to try to seal it off. The golem twitched slightly, acting as though it had heard Hideki for the first time. It still failed to respond. Slowly, she turned around to face her trainer. Hideki's heart stopped beating as he saw the pure blankness in her eyes. His mind flashed back to her encounter with the infected Raticate in the professor's lab. He remembered watching the blood from the Raticate's shattered skull splash into Rochelle's rocky hide. He remembered that the virus was airborne. "Rochelle, return!" he screamed in desperation, pointing the Pokeball at the golem. Nothing happened. But Hideki's cry had activated something in the beast, for she let out a cry of her own. There was nothing desperate about her call, though. In fact, there was no emotion at all. Just hunger. Hideki stayed frozen as his Pokemon charged at him full speed. "Shadow, use Psychic!" Harmony yelled shrilly. Suddenly, Hideki felt himself being lifted into the air. Shadow wasn't using Psychic on the golem. It was using the move on him. The golem passed underneath the now airborne Hideki. It had too much momentum to stop. "Starmie, use Hydro Pump!" Misty Starmie leapt into the air a short distance and sprayed a powerful jet of water directly at Hideki's golem. When it was done, almost all the Rock-type's protective shell had been blown away, revealing a frail-looking brown lizard underneath. It struggled to stand, many of its bones shattered by the force of the blast of water. But like the Raticate before, these devastating injuries had failed to kill it. In fact, also like the Raticate, it didn't even seem to feel any pain. Harmony ran over to Hideki as she gave her last command to her Espeon. "Shadow, set Hideki down, then use Psychic on the golem, and go for the kill." Hideki was gently, but not slowly, lowered to the ground. As soon as his feet touched the ground, Harmony was there to cover his eyes with her hand. There was a muffled pop, and then no more. Harmony uncovered his eyes, and felt the same thing Hideki felt when he looked into Rochelle's eyes for the last time, for she too saw nothing but an abyss in his.